Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private servers. I am once again on the Everlasting server, which is the unofficial roleplay server, at least as determined right now. We are with our martial arts super reflex scrapper, level 6, named Silver Phoenix, who has 3,448 experience and 4,996 influence. And I believe I mentioned this before. What we're trying to do is not spend any money on training enhancements and probably not too much on dual origin enhancements, which I'll explain when we get to them at level 12. But we're going to save up for single origin enhancements, which we will need to buy at level 22, 23. And as I said, the sort of years ago when I did the math on this, for a scrapper like this character, it costs about 800,000 influence to buy a full set of single origin enhancements at level 22 to slot out all of your powers. Now, we're probably not going to be able to slot out all of our powers, so we'll have to pick and choose, but we got to try to get a lot more influence than we have if we want to buy single origin enhancements. Now, there's one thing I wanted to show, and let me see if I can find it. I have not shown this before. Where is it? There is a pay-to-win vendor. There it is. Alright, so let me explain the logic of this character. This character was not in the regular game. It's over here in Atlas Park, and it's called a P2W, or pay-to-win vendor. So the idea of this character is sort of mocking the idea of in free-to-play when you where you use money to buy things. Since there's no money on this server, right? It's free, it's open source, it's private. They can't take even donations, let alone actual payment. What they've done is they've disabled the payments, and they have pretty much allowed everything to be purchased either with influence or with nothing. You can just get it for free, right? You can get these pets, a dark fairy pet, a wisp pet, a power drone pet, an oscillator pet, a fairy pet. You just get it, right? You need to have how many? How much? Nothing, right? And you can buy prestige powers and prestige shields and whatever else you want. Prestige enhancements are one that some people get. These are quite nice enhancements. This one does damage, recharge, and so forth. This is very similar to an invention enhancement in terms of the fact that it does multiple things at once. But I have not grabbed these because, again, they were not in vanilla, and I'm trying to have a vanilla experience. And also, I just, like, as you've seen, we haven't died yet once. We're level 6. I don't think there's any reason to make the game easier. So I'm not going to actually buy any of that stuff, but I am going to, but I just wanted to show it to you. So now I'm going to go to Vic Johnson. He's in Kings Row. I wanted to show Kings Row a little bit, and we got to go to the train station, and we will go to Kings Row and meet our new contact. So we're level 6. Again, as I said last time, Atlas Park is a level 1 to 6 zone. So we've now pretty much out-leveled this zone. Everything in this zone is going to be low level to us. These guys are Grey Cons. They're level, what? Where's my target? There it is. They're level 1, right? So even if I stand next to them, they're not going to aggro, because I'm basically a purple boss to them, and they're not going to go after me. Now, if I attack them, they'll fight back or run away, but they're so low level that these guys just won't even aggro. Right, and that's just because we pretty much are too powerful for them. Alright, so we're going to head up into the train, and we're going to go to a new zone for the first time. Atlas Park. Sorry, we're in Atlas Park. We're going to Kings Row. And Kings Row is like level 5 to 11, something like that. Now, we just missed the train, so we got to wait for the next one to come, but they come very quickly. And I really like the touch that it's showing you next stop, Steel Canyon, and so on. We're not going to stop at Steel Canyon. It's just going to automatically teleport us to Kings Row. Now, Kings Row is one of my favorite zones. It's a little bigger than Atlas Park. It's rougher than Atlas Park. We're going to be a little bit over our heads here. There's a new contact, Shauna Stockwell, that we're supposed to talk to. So we're going to be in a little bit over our heads here because Kings Row goes several levels above us. So a lot of the villains are going to be orange, red, and purple to us, so we got to be careful. But what I like about this zone is it's kind of filthy and dirty and run down. There's graffiti everywhere. If you remember, Atlas Park was all nice and clean. Here you can see that everything's kind of run down and dirty and dusty, and kind of, it's even always cloudy here and stuff. So It's sort of like, this is kind of the seedy part of town. And I actually like it because I think it's just got a lot of character. And I spent an awful lot of time in here with my characters because back in the day, it took even longer to level than it does now. Right now, the leveling was eased up a little bit after launch, and also right now this server is on double experience. I believe it still is until tonight. So um, maybe it's not. I'm not really sure. I don't really care. I actually hope it's not. But anyway, this you spent a lot of time in this zone in the early days when the game first launched, and you really got to know it well, which was kind of fun. So this is Shauna Stockwell. This isn't actually one of our contacts, but we have a new Detective Bectress here as a contact as well, and I believe Detective Bectress will introduce us to the sort of random missions. So Shauna Stockwell tells me that she's ever since Galaxy City got smushed by the refugees. They got smushed. The refugees have been flocking to Kings Row, hoping that they can return home soon. Unfortunately, a lot of them are out on the street with nowhere to go, and this has made them easy pickings for the skulls. And so she's keeping tabs on the skulls, and she has a news site, Raw from the Row, and she works with the Paragon Police Department, and right now she doesn't have any missions for us, but I believe she will eventually. Our other contact here is Vic Johnson, and Vic Johnson is over there, and so we're going to have to be careful heading over to him because as you can see, there's purples here, right? This is a level 10 lieutenant, so he cons as a level 11. He's effectively 5 levels above us, so we got to be careful. As I said, one of the tricks, I think I said this before, one of the tricks to this is to try to stay on the street, but you got to still be careful on these narrow streets because you can get attacked. I'm going to just keep going as fast as I can and try to avoid fighting these guys too much. And I'm just going to stay over here and just sort of like, almost like you're doing a slalom. So I just keep hitting tab, and if something spawns in front of me or appears in front of me, I'll just try to swerve away from it because I really don't feel like fighting purples right now. Once we get our level 8 kick in, we might be okay with purples, but right now it'd be a bit tough. So here's Vic. He's a cop. He's a beat cop, and he says the city needs heroes, and I aim to help them any way I can, and we ask him about available missions, and he gives us 2 choices. The first one is, we've been seeing a lot of violence from the Lost in Kings Row. They've been attacking businesses and sometimes steal merchandise. I need you to go to Kings Row and stop the Lost rampage. Or, a lot of homeless people have gone missing. Eyewitnesses reported one of them was dragged into the sewers. Please find the missing homeless people. So I haven't been to the sewers yet, so let's go ahead and go to the sewers. Also, I happen to know that the Lost in this part of the city, they're all like level 8 and above, so there are a couple of spots where you can find low-level Lost, but they're kind of hard to get to. So I really don't want to start trying to fight purple Lost right now. I mean, we could do it. We have a full tray of inspirations, but let's go ahead and go into the sewers. We haven't been in there yet, and we can see what the sewers are like. Now, there are open sewers, like here, the sewer network. Let me zoom in. Let me get off the street here so I don't get run over. I'm joking. You can't get run over. But so right here is the sewer network. This is an open sewer. It's not an instance. It's just an open city zone. It's full of very powerful spawns. Well, powerful for your level, right? Like level 10, 15 spawns in this area, and you can just go in there and fight. And a lot of people just form up groups and go fight in those sewers. But this is a private instance mission, just like all of our others. And I really like that they went ahead and put the animations of the characters jumping down the sewers and walking in the door and so forth. So these are the sewers. It's kind of gross. It's all this sort of green water. It actually looks better than in the original launch version of the game, this green stuff. You followed a bedraggled man into the sewers, and you hope he's led you to the right spot. Now, my guess is this is probably going to be the Vajaloks, which are basically zombies. Basically, Dr. Vajalok is this guy who takes cadavers and he reanimates them and like radio controls them and uses them to do his will, trying to conquer the city. And he also has some like resurrected guys and sort of coroners that work for him and things like this. So I like to zoom the map in and make sure I've kind of been everywhere while this map takes me back. Oh, I just got hit by something. What did I get hit by? That's weird. So I bet we have a spawn in the walls. I got to create my sewer costume. When you started having multiple costumes, I used to create, so these are lost. I used to create something that looked like a body armor with like a gas mask for going in the sewers. I might have to do something like that because we don't want to get her. She's barefoot right now. It's kind of gross walking through sewage. So this isn't actually the Voshilek. This is the Lost. This guy is a lieutenant. He's level 6. These guys are a little bit dangerous. He's a headman blaster. There are a couple of types of headmen. There's a headman blaster, a headman swordsman, and a couple others. The blaster guys are less dangerous than the swordsman because they don't do as much damage. They do range damage, however, and we have no defense against range other than our little bit with our Agile, which is a passive that gives us about 5% defense against range. So he's going to have about a 65% chance to hit us, reduced by 5%, so he's still going to have a 60% chance to hit. Also, because he's a lieutenant, so he's more higher ranked. Also, his blast can stun, so we have to watch out that we don't get stunned. We do have a little bit of additional defense. Combat jump is about 5 defense also. So between Agile and combat jump, we've reduced his chance to hit us by about 10%. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a knife at him and start punching. Kicking. And here we go. Alright, so that's not too bad. Now we're going to hit this grounder chopper. And he was worth... So again, you can see the lieutenant was worth 96 experience and 114 influence. So you get a little more influence relative to experience for lieutenants than you do for minions, right? The minion is 28 and 18. That may still be double experience. It might be that it'd be 14 and 18 when they turn that off. I'm just not really sure. I don't really remember the experiences, like how much experience these guys were worth back in the day. This is one of the guys we're supposed to help. He is a captive. He's in the helpless citizen faction, captive rank, and we're going to have to free him from these guys. This is a headman rifleman, so he again uses a blaster, just like the headman blaster guy. You can see they're doing some damage to me, right? So this isn't just... I just got shot from above. Oh man, the guy above me saw me. Okay, so we're gonna have to fight a second spawn here. Let me see if I can get away from him, like get out of his line of sight, so that he's forced to come to me. Yeah, there he is. Okay, we're gonna need some luck, and that. Yeah, so that was a mistake on my part, because I aggroed 2 spawns at once. I didn't see the guys up there. Oh, so alright, so the other thing we're doing here, what are you doing? Don't go running away from me. So what we have to do now is lead this guy out. So we're going to take this guy, he's going to follow me. Come on. Come on. So we're going to take this guy and... Oh, and there's more soldiers here. How did I miss these guys? Did I just walk him right past them? Oh, and this guy is the swordman. Those guys are tough. I do have some defense against the melee, so hopefully that'll help us survive. Fortunately, with this particular mission... Ouch. Fortunately, with this particular mission, the citizen, I don't think he can be attacked by these guys. I'm not really sure. Wow, I'm just going to barely make it. Okay. Alright. I'm going to bring this guy out now. Okay. So what we gotta do is walk him to the exit, and then he will go out by himself. Come on. I think he's gonna go out by himself. No? Yeah, there he goes. See, he's gonna walk out. Okay. So let me rest a little bit here to get our hit points back. So you can see that it's now immobilized, only affecting self. You're immobilized while you're resting. And then we're going to go back, and we're going to fight the next set of guys. So there's more guys up on the walkway, and that was sloppy of me not to look for that and notice that. I think I'm going to go up there and take the guys upstairs first so they don't drop down on me again. Yeah, I haven't been on this map in a really long time, so I kind of forgot about it and how to actually do it right, but, so this guy, he must have jumped down. Oh, he's a patrol. Okay, so that, I forgot about this too. Yeah, they do have guys that patrol, and you gotta watch out, because if you're fighting one spawn and the patrol shows up, now you're fighting two spawns. And I actually didn't think to look for that, which again was sloppy, but I'm rusty. It's been a while since I played this game. Again, this is sort of why I said, you know, the game seems easy at first. It's sort of scaled to be easy at the beginning because, for instance, a new player wouldn't know that there are patrols, right? So the same sort of sloppiness that I just did, a new player would do, but a new player also wouldn't know which inspirations to keep in their tray. Might just leave them there. I mean, when I first started playing the game, I used to like save them. I used to save them so that, I mean, you see how fast we get them? You just keep getting them all the time. When I first started to play the game, I used to save them, right? And then I would hoard them until I absolutely needed them. You really don't have to do that. And the other thing is you want to use the ones that are less important. Like in my case, I consider sturdy, which is 10% resistant, less important than defense, which is 12% defense. So sturdy reduces the damage you take when you get hit, but defense prevents you from getting hit. Oh, and did I see? I thought I saw a guy. I guess not. So the idea is that with defense, it's stacking. Yes, there they are. Okay, so they're trying to prevent me from getting him out, right? And it's not spawning quite right. They were supposed to stop me from taking him out of here, but they kind of didn't path correctly. So that's what's happening when you free one of the guys, right? A new spawn comes in trying to stop you from taking him out, right? And I forgot about that too. So again, this is the sort of thing where, okay, I know what I'm doing, so I can handle being kind of a bit of a, you know, I can handle derping it a little bit, but I would imagine that somebody who's completely new might have a lot of trouble. You wouldn't know exactly what you're doing. You might not know with your defense power. I certainly didn't, that you want to hoard your lucks, but use the other stuff, and then be ready to pop maybe even 2 lucks to try and floor their attack. So we now saved 2 people, and we have to move on to find the third one. So yeah, the game is not super hard at this level, but they do that so that newbies do not get utterly destroyed by how hard it is, right? It is much harder in the later levels. Or let's put it this way, the villains can do more in the later levels, and you need to know what you're doing in the later levels. And this guy's orange. He's a blaster though, so he's not as tough as the swordsman. One thing is there's no flanking in this game. So other than maybe stalkers doing backstab, there's no flanking in this game, so this guy doesn't get any bonuses for attacking me from behind. Let me jump out of here. So I don't know if this was a patrol that got stuck, or what. Now somebody else is shooting me. Okay, so there's another guy here. Maybe this is the patrol, I'm not really sure. As I said, usually spawns are 1 lieutenant and 1 minion, or 3 minions. So it's hard to tell if this is just a non-standard mission, or if something's bugged and they're not spawning in the places you would normally expect to find them. I think that was a patrol, but I'm not really sure. As you can see though now, twice in this mission I've had to rest. Have I had to rest in any mission yet? No. So that tells you it's getting a little bit harder. So now we're going down deeper into the sewers. You can see all this disgusting sludge, and I'm going to have to walk through it, which is kind of gross. There's nothing up there, nothing over there. Okay, so this is usually something where you got to go around, and there's guys on both sides. Alright, let's go this way. So let's do this the right way. You should take out the minion first. Um, and then you have, because of the lieutenant is going to take longer, and you can see they do a huge amount of damage with that sword when they hit. The lieutenant takes longer to take out, and while you're trying to defeat him, this guy's going to be pounding on you, right? Alright, so this is immediately going to make the mission easier, because we just leveled. Anyway, if you're attacking a lieutenant, while you're fighting with him, the minion is going to be pounding on you. If you take out the minion in 2 or 3 hits, then he's done, and you can fight the lieutenant by itself. Right? So we still got to find one guy to take out with us. And this is one where we're not going to be able to just hit the complete mission button at the end. When we rescue this third person, we're going to have to lead the person out. And here is our last hostage. See her? Okay, or him. Is it a him or her? I can't tell. You see how fast we took out that minion? Right, so now while we're pounding on the lieutenant, we're not dealing with the minion. And I keep moving around to try and make sure that the camera is clear. I probably wouldn't do that if I was playing by myself, but since people might be watching. And yes, this is a missing homeless person. Alright, so now we gotta have her follow us. Oh, and there's more lost. As long as you don't hit him, I don't care. This homeless guy. Right, I don't care if he hits me, I just don't want him to kill the homeless person. I don't think they can, though. I don't think they shoot at them in this mission. So far, they don't seem to have. So now here we go. Ah, there's a guy, there's 2 guys coming, right, to try and stop us. So let me go ahead and, ouch, take out this minion first. And now I'll take out the swordsman. And so far with combat jumping and the focus fighting toggle, our endurance seems to have held up, so I'm going to just leave the toggle on for now. Found another enhancement. Look at all that. We got a lot of enhancements. So now, can we combine? Let's see. Yep, so now I have a level 6 enhancement on that power. And we're going to go ahead and increase the damage to Storm Kick. So now we have plus 7.5% damage to Thunder Kick and plus 7.5% damage to Storm Kick. So you can see that Storm Kick does an average of 20.45 damage per hit, and it's been up to almost 22. Now I want you to notice this. When we started the game, martial arts Thunder Kick was doing about 8.9 damage per hit. Now it does 13. So as you level up, you get the base of the power gets better, right? It does more. So let's leave the last hostage out, and then we'll be done with this mission. Yeah, so every level, Thunder Kick is going to do more damage than it did the last level. Now, I don't know that it basically just keeps you on par, because every level, the minions get more hit points, the lieutenants get more hit points, they get more damage resistance. So, it basically takes about 3 good hits with your main powers to take out a minion, and that's true at first level, but you just don't have the 3 good powers. You only have Brawl and Thunder Kick. But once you have Crane Kick, right, you have Thunder Kick, Storm Kick, Crane Kick, that combo will pretty much take out a white con minion at almost any level. So your powers get more powerful, but the minions get more defense and more resistance and more hit points. Also, that 3-hit rule is only true if you're enhancing your powers. So those Thunder Kick, Storm Kick, Crane Kick with training enhancements below level 10 or 12 will do that. But then if you wanted to do that, you'll be able to 3-hit with those 3 powers. At level, say, 17 or 18, you need dual origin enhancements. And if you want to be able to 3-hit with those 3 powers at level 30, you're going to need single origin enhancements. Alright, so we got to go back to our contact. This is the guy that gave us the mission, and he's right over there. We're level 7. We also can level up in this zone. We don't need to go back to Atlas Park. And I'll show you where we can level up here in um, basically at the old police station that used to be the main police station here in the city. So Kings Row used to be like the main area, and then there was an industry. Where is it? Let's see. Let me zoom in. There was an industry area over here. It doesn't seem to have the. I think it's right over here. There was an old factory that once it was like a clothing factory, and once it was abandoned, the town kind of died at this part of town, and it became a slum. All right. So he says, good work. The department just made some new equipment available. Call me if there's anything you need. So you can actually sell things to this guy too. And he can sell you these inspirations if you want them. There's no point in buying them, because as you've seen with me, what I've been able to do is just use the ones I don't want and wait till the ones I do want drop, and then I get the tray of ones that I want. Okay, so we can be introduced to a new contact, and our options are Paco Sanchez. He's an EMT, and he's not only great at his job, but he also works well with heroes, and he deals with the Circle of Thorns. He can be found in Alice Park, and Circle of Thorns is magic users. Or Linda Summers. Linda Summers, you might enjoy chatting with her. She's always pursuing some crime-related story. She deals with the skulls, and her scoop is in Kings Row. So since we're in Kings Row, I think we're going to stick with her, and we'll say yes. We can also ask him for available missions, and he has two. The doctors at the Chiron Medical Center want more data on the mysterious Lost, so we can attack the Lost, or the security chief in Paris Park asked for us. Now, Paris Park's a hazard zone, and we will go in there at some point, but I hate this mission, because then you've got to go fight stuff in Paris Park, and you need a group for it, and I'm not going to really worry about that right now. So we'll do Chiron Medical Center's mission, and that is to defeat 10 Lost. Now, the thing is, we can defeat the Lost. I think we have to defeat the Lost in Kings Row. I don't know if you can defeat them in another zone. But first, I want to go and level up, and the leveling up is done with Blue Steel right here. So Blue Steel is over there. So now I gotta figure out how to get up to him, because he's up high. We don't have super jump yet, so let's see. There's almost always a way to get up. You just have to find it. Let's see. Here we go. So this is an incline in the road that will lead us up to Freedom Plaza, I think it's called. And this is the Paragon Police Department. This was originally part of the center of town before the town this part of town went to seed. And this is Blue Steel. He's like a super cop. Hey, he's pretty cool looking. I like his shield and everything. Pretty neat. Okay, so we train up to a new level, and we're going to get new enhancement slots. I'm going to put one slot in Agile. This is the maximum number of slots we need. And I'm going to put a slot in Thunderkick. Okay, so if we look at this, the maximum number of slots of power we're going to have is 6. But Agile will only need 3. Why? Because it's a passive, and the only enhancements it can take are defense enhancements, which increases its defensiveness against ranged attack. You can put some other stuff in here, but that's really all you want to put in. The way enhancements work, after you put 3 of them in, more than that really doesn't help much. So the first enhancement, like damage, the first damage enhancement is a 33% increase if it's a single origin enhancement. The second one's 66, gets you to 66. The third one gets you to about 99. And the fourth one only gets you to like 103. So it's not worth putting more than 3. So with defense, a single origin defense enhancement is 20%. So it'd be 20, 40, 60, and then beyond that, there's no point, because it'll only go to like 62, 63. So there's no reason to do any more than 3 slotting on a passive. Now, this is being slotted for the future. There's really no reason to put training enhancements in something that only has a, if you look at the detailed information, only has a 5% buff, because the training enhancements are only going to increase it by like 5% of 5%. So it'll go from 5.63 to like 6.63 if we put all the training enhancements on here, so it's not worth it. When you get to 22nd level, and you can put 3 single origin enhancements, that increases it by basically 60%. This can go from 5.63 to like 9%, then it's kind of worth it to do. But it's not worth putting training enhancements on here But I want to get the slots in so we're ready to go. So we don't need any more slots here. Focus fighting, we're going to 4 slot. It's going to be 1 endurance reducer and 3 defense. These will be 6 slotted, right? We're going to have an accuracy, probably 1 accuracy, 3 damage, endurance reducer, and a recharge. Thunderkick doesn't need the recharge, so it'll probably be 2 accuracy. And we use it a lot, so we want to make sure we hit. And then some of the other powers that use a lot of endurance, I also do 2 accuracy on, just to make sure that I don't spend half an endurance bar and miss. Okay, so Shauna Stockwell is a new contact. We're going to say okay. Now, we met her before when we first came off the train. We actually have her cell phone number, so we can call her right now and ask her about available missions. And this is the start of a story arc. The Super-Reflexes ring, Part 1, Product Placement. So Super-Reflexes has been on the streets of Kings Row for years now, Silver Phoenix. But with all the refugees flooding into Kings Row from Galaxy City, the Skulls have really started to push their product. The number of Super-Reflexes-related crimes is escalating, and the Paragon PD doesn't seem to have enough manpower to stop it. Only so much can be done by writing about it. Will you help me shed light on the Skulls' activities? And I say, yes, I will put a stop to the Skulls. So, we have a medical kit, and that's going to be for the first mission, which was to get blood from the Lost. And then this one is to talk to Genevieve Sanders, who's a person in Kings Row. So we have 2 missions here. One is to talk to Genevieve Sanders, and the other is to go after this, the Lost. But it turns out the Lost are found down around here too, so we can probably do both of these at once. One thing I do want to check on, I believe there may be some Lost kind of down under here, like down here. Sometimes I think there are, but doesn't look like it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and find Genevieve Sanders. And actually I want to go back up because she's up high. She's at the hospital. That's Skulls. Oh, I just aggroed her, so we'll go ahead and fight her. Yeah, once I aggro something, I tend to, as you've probably seen, I tend to fight it for a lot of reasons. One is, hey, it's experience and I like doing it. But another is just in case, again, in case I start dragging it, I really don't want to... I mean, I guess it's safe to drag something here because the police drone will just make it disappear. But I try to avoid dragging spawns around just so that I don't get somebody else killed. Oh, and this is a little point of interest here. The building that used to stand in this spot was destroyed by the arch-villain known only as Teal Serpent. While Statesman battled Serpent in an epic battle that ranged for miles, the monumental Atlas turned his attention to the people trapped inside the rubble. With a gentleness to rival his strength, he picked apart the ruins with his massive fingers, freeing 243 people who would otherwise have perished. So that's just a little part of the history. Oh boy. That's a Bone Daddy. Alright, this is going to be fun. This guy's a boss. So he's going to be tough, but that's alright. So now he's going to be trouble because he's... You see how we have this dark cloud around us? He's reducing our chance to hit. So I think I'm going to take an accuracy inspiration just to make sure I hit him. So he is our level. He's orange to us because a boss cons is 2 levels above his actual level. So he's a level 7 boss. He acts like a level 9 minion, essentially. So you can see that wasn't too bad. And I got a sturdy. And this is actually 15% resistance instead of 10%. So the lowest orange is a smaller shield like this. And so when you see a bigger symbol, it means it's a higher level. There are like 3 ranks. So this is the second, I think the second highest one. And it gives you 15% resistance. Alright, let's go find Genevieve. Alright. So she's given us a clue, which is forced habit. So before we read the clue, let's go ahead and read this. Silver Phoenix, Shauna called to let me know you were on your way. Thanks for agreeing to help out. More Super-Reflexes addicts are showing up at my hospital every day, and they're in bad shape. From what I've gathered, the skulls are forcibly addicting people to the drug. Silver Phoenix, a lot of people have lost everything in Galaxy City, and they turned to theft and less savory acts in order to pay for their next fix. Eventually, they either end up arrested or here or in the morgue. Sorry, it's just so frustrating. So what she wants me to do is, she said the skulls have a drugged in an industrial area, in Industrial Avenue, and people go there to buy their Super-Reflexes. If you can hit the skulls on the streets hard enough, one of them may tell you. So then our clue says that according to Genevieve, a lot of the addicts are coming into Crown Memorial and so forth, and so we want to go hit the streets and defeat 10 skulls, right? So now we got to defeat 10 lost and 10 skulls here on the streets. So we'll just wander around. This area should have lost and skulls in it, and there are some skulls right there. So we can get started on our little mission. So the idea is, after you defeat 10 of them, and one of the things I actually like about this is it's after you defeat 10 of them. So rather than doing something like, say, we're going to make the information have a 1 in 10 chance of dropping, and then you just, on average will get it if you defeat 10 of them. They just make it 10 so that you know exactly how many you have to defeat, which I actually like. We don't need the injury, so I'm going to go ahead and chow down on that. So you may notice we're still able to do this. It's not a problem, right? But it is getting harder. We're taking some damage now, right? We're in a slightly higher level zone, and these guys are going to do more damage. And so I have my toggle on, and we're actually having more hit points taken away from us than without the toggle. So that tells you that it is getting a little harder. We got some salvage. So we now have a mutant blood sample, and a rune-bound armor. So we still need to defeat, what is this, 8 skulls? I thought we only needed 10. Weird. Question skulls in King's Row. Okay, well. And there's some lost. There's a lost, so we can do like 2 of these missions at once. These guys don't get along, the skulls and the lost. So that's one of the lost. So this should, if we take this skull out, yeah, there we go, 7 to go. I'm going to go ahead and eat the damage enhancer or inspiration because I don't need it, since I have 2 others. There's another lost. There's 3 lost, it looks like. Yep. So we'll see which one we can get done first. Skulls or lost. As you can see, we're very close to. We're getting close to 8th level now. We have like 7 beads down, 7 beads down, and 3 to go. Okay, so we now, if we look at our missions, we need to defeat 3 more lost and 6 more skulls. Now that guy is rough. I'm not sure we want to fight him because he's a red con. There's some skulls, right? So that's another one. So we need 5 skulls. Why are you laying on the ground? That's weird. Why is he on the ground? Just letting me beat him up. I've never seen that before. I wonder if that's a server glitch, or... I mean, apparently they were fighting each other. This looks like more lost, so this should finish the lost mission. And when we get to 8th level, we will be able to get my favorite attack power in the game, Crane Kick. I absolutely love it. It does a lot of good damage, and it does knockback. And it just looks really cool. Alright, so we defeated enough skulls. We got a clue from them. And the clue says, so we have our medical kit, blood samples. You took blood samples from the lost you defeated. This may help the doctors at the Chiron Medical Center. So we got that. We can call Vic. And he says, thanks for your efforts. You've exceeded my expectations. And we ask him about available missions. And he says, we've been seeing a lot of violence from the Lost in King's Row, so we can fight the Lost again. So we'll go ahead and do that. I don't know if this guy has a story arc for us. But if you see this little book with the little bookmark in it, that means you're on a story arc. So let's see if we can defeat 5 more skulls, and then I think we will stop for today. Skulls, 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 skulls. Okay, that looks good. There's a lot of guys in this spawn. 4 or 5. We should be able to do it. We should be alright. Go ahead and pop this because I don't really want to keep it. That'll give me some resistance against their extra hits. Wow, doing a lot of damage here. Wait, I didn't pop it. No wonder. Alright, so now we need this. That's because I didn't wait for the queued up inspiration to go. And as you can see, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do this time, which is taking out all the minions first. So when we fight the lieutenant, it's one-on-one. And that lieutenant cannot beat us one-on-one. And as you can see, we've got him now. But I wouldn't have wanted to take so much time to take him out that I had 3 minions chopping at me, or we probably would have been killed. 1 skull remaining. So you gotta find 1 more skull. And that looks like it, right there. And we leveled up. So you might have been wondering, why didn't I heal? Because I saw that I was about to level up, and I figured leveling up always heals you, so I figured we'd be fine. This guy's on the ground too. I mean, like, I'd like to actually help him up, but you can't, so... Alright. So now we have another clue. And this clue says, forced habit, according to Genevieve Sao. So this is... The name is Toothbreaker Jones, so we read this one already. Your inquiries on the street yielded one name, Toothbreaker Jones. Word is a bunch of bad apples. Of the bad apples that make up the skulls, he's the most rotten. So, that's the guy we're going to have to go after next. But first, I want to level up. There's blue steel. I actually love the music in here. There's some Lost. See, I knew there was some behind the police station. Alright, so we're going to go up here and we're going to get Crane Kick. And I'm not going to actually show what Crane Kick does this episode. I'll do it next time, because I think this has been long enough. Train a new level of power, and we pick Crane Kick. And this is our new kick, and I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to move this over because it's a range attack, and we really don't... We're not going to need this very much anymore now that we have Crane Kick. One of the things I do want to point out, actually, while I'm standing here next to her, is if we take a look, lots of these players have creative characters. See, that's a neat looking character. Star Piercer, so she must do some kind of, let's see, she's a magic brute, and she has Titan weapon and willpower. The tip for the mission will drop and you'll get it, so she must be talking to somebody on help. Yep. Somebody's asking about mission drops. Alright, so I think we're done for now, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I certainly did. We're at level 8, and having a good time, and I'll see you in the next episode.